I'm not sure what I did wrong. If I had to guess, I think it's just I harvested it too soon. I think it takes about like 2 months to harvest, then 60 to 90 days, I believe, if I remember correctly. And I think I did it within 45 days, probably. I probably could wait another 30 days, probably.
Yeah. You would
It's
never
all
know,
good.
but I was over there by Cypress College. There's a elementary school near there. My kids played soccer there. I think my daughter was playing soccer.
Nice.
And so there's those train tracks right by Cypress College? Well, they used to be there.
Yes, I remember those tracks very well.
Right behind Home Depot, right behind what do you call it? The post office. There's a huge watermelon patch, like a natural
Yes.
occurring. Did you
Oops.
know about that?
Sorry, low battery. Hang on.
Okay.
Yes, I did hear you. You said about the watermelon patch behind the post office, right along the post office.
Did I tell you about that before? Or did you know about that?
I seen the garden from the street, but I never
Oh.
knew it was a watermelon patch.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty cool though.
It was pretty surreal. You walked down there, just and then just to explore, and you'd see this huge patch of watermelons and some flowers and things. But yeah,
That's awesome.
pretty strange.
Actually,
but they're all about this big, maybe about look like a basketball size. So.
Oh, it's a sugar baby, a sugar watermelon, which means it's a personal size.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, and usually they're pretty sweet.
Those are sweet.
Yeah, I think it's called sugar sweet watermelon. I think, and it's personal size watermelon. Remember correctly.
And your produce.
It's because of Greg.
Oh, he knows about all that stuff?
He is a mastermind. He pretty much, I just wish I took him more seriously when I was working there or as a student, because he has so much wealth and knowledge of produce and fruits. Even more so for persimmons. He has like a wealth of knowledge. It's incredible. And I just wish I took him seriously. Like, in terms of, I should have started gardening a long time ago, when he was talking about it, it's like, okay, this is a sign of I should start doing stuff, I think. But now look at me, I'm trying to get a hold of him, and it's very hard to get a hold of him.
Is it?
Yeah. He gave me a counter based on persimmons, like what you can do with persimmons. You can make anything with it pretty much.
Huh. I didn't know that.
If I could find, I don't know if I have that calendar or not, but if I could find it, I'd be happy to take some photos of the recipes because some of it sounds just outstanding.
Wow. I mean, that's not being Japanese. I know about persimmons, but we would just basically eat it, fresh off the tree. So I didn't know I heard there's some ways that they dry them. I've seen that.
I don't know the process for that is, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I heard it's really hard though. It's really hard because you gotta make sure there's no bugs on it and stuff like that, supposedly.
And aren't there, like, for instance, my neighbors have 2 persimmon trees. Okay, one is the traditional kind that I'm used to seeing, where it kind of looks like a little pumpkin.
Yes.
They have the other type that look more like a teardrop.
Yes. So that's a hachiya.
So I think one of them, which I think the teardrop one, you're not supposed to eat that until it's perfectly ripe, because otherwise it can give you a stomachache.
You can get a stomachache. What happens is so it's called hachiya. It's like an acorn shape, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a hachiya. So only way to eat that is when it's soft. If it's hard, your tongue will get fuzzy and fermented weird.
That's what I heard.
And I've done that before because Greg introduced that to me, like do's and don'ts. He just gave me a little cut of it, like, this is why you don't eat it. And trust me, my tongue was very fuzzy for a good, I want to say 4 hours, 3 hours.
I heard it'll give you, I mean, it sounds gross, but I heard it'll, give you the runs. That's what I heard.
I didn't get that, unfortunately. If I ate the whole thing, yeah, I probably would have got sick, probably. But I just had like a little piece of it, like, wow, I'm learning something new.
So my little pit bull dog, Nellie, she just waits for those things to drop off the tree and eats it, and then she gets sick.
Thanks for the laugh. I needed that. I really did need that. Thank you.
Just get
But
some.
for the Hachio, if you once it's soft, put it in the fridge for a couple of days, get it nice icy cold. It's like eating ice cream, pretty much.
Wow.
It's like phenomenon. It really is.
Yeah.
So you should tell your neighbor if you have any Hachias, can I have one, please, or two.
I mean, they let some of them grow into my yard, so I think they're okay with it,
Nice.
but I never eat them. I just never. I'm Japanese, but I don't really. My parents used to eat a lot of persimmon, but I wasn't used to that flavor. I was used to apples and oranges and.
For the pumpkin shaped persimmons, it tastes like a pumpkin and a apple and a carrot. That's what it tastes
Right.
like.
It's an interesting flavor.
Yeah, it does. If you eat it soft though, it still tastes good.
Right.
But for the hachia though, you don't want to eat the skin. Just eat the inside and watch out for seeds.
Hmm.
But this my tip for you. So if you try some this coming season, I do recommend doing that.
Okay.
Just because it's you may like, you may not. It
Right.
doesn't hurt to try. I personally think it's refreshing, in my opinion.
That's cool.
And
So
what else?
is this the first year that you attacked um, gardening, or had you done it before?
This is my first time. I actually dropped some cash on the garden. Actually, first time doing this, and so far, the fruit trees has been responsive to the ground, which is I'm very happy,
Hmm.
because if the trees weren't responding, I won't know officially till like maybe next year if it actually responded or not. But
Hmm.
I think the nectarine tree has responded a lot, in my opinion. It's
Yeah.
been growing like at least a foot since I got it, or 1.5 feet. The blood orange tree that I got, I see lots of new growth. I'm very happy for that.
That's a
And maybe
beautiful fruit, the blood orange.
yes, once I get some, I'd be happy to share some with you.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a while though. It's gonna maybe take another maybe 2 years
Okay. Yeah.
because this
Citrus
tree
doesn't even bloom till we don't eat our oranges until what? November, December?
depends. It depends what kind of citrus you have.
Okay.
Because I believe this blood orange it becomes in season between October and February.
Oh wow. No, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. Like you could eat, well, I don't know. My oranges they're not ready in October, but you could probably eat them November, but they're a little sour.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
But they're really good by January, February, like they're really sweet.
That's usually a sign of Mother Nature saying, "Load upon your citrus."
Right.
I'm starting to believe that. I really do.
Yeah.
Plant what's in season and that prepares for the next season.
Right. They kind of gives you the sort of a
Yep.
medicine test.
And it sounds pretty wild, but I think that's what it means, in my opinion.
Right.
Um, the other tree is a strawberry guava. That thing's been taken off pretty well. It was maybe how tall was it when I first got it? Maybe like 1 feet tall when I got it. Now it's about maybe 2.5, 3 feet tall.
Why do they call it? I've never had that. Why do they call it? Is it a red guava, basically?
So the outside flesh is red,
Uh-huh.
but when you cut it open, it smells like strawberries.
What a trip.
Supposedly, it's white flesh inside though. I like the pink flesh inside, in my opinion, because it just tastes really good.
Yeah.
I actually bought the wrong tree, actually.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. It's okay though. I mean, it's actually doing pretty well in this climate. I'm pretty surprised because I had it in the pot for the longest time, and I was like, "Huh, it's actually growing in this climate. That's pretty promising." So, of course, I dig a hole in the backyard to dig a frisk, and sure enough, it's flourishing.
For a guy who just got into gardening, you sound like you're all in.
I'm pretty hooked. I'm not gonna lie. I need a greenhouse though for the
So
winter.
in California, like what kind of thing is that useful for? Because I figure like we're so warm, you know.
I think, in my opinion, Southern California has a very diverse agriculture um, climate. In my opinion,
Hmm.
just based on what I've seen, what's been growing around the neighborhood, and observing probably within, this is what I've been noticing in the past, but within maybe, I don't say 15-mile radius, I see a good variety of types of fruit like pomegranate, all kinds of figs, citrus,
Right.
peach trees, nectarines, cab apples. I actually saw somebody has some cherry tree. Actually producing cherries.
You can do that here?
Yeah, I was surprised too.
Because normally we got that cherry picking way out there in like Tehachapi area.
Yeah, you would think. I think this type of cherry this person was growing is a Jubilee cherry, I think.
I've heard of that.
It's a bright red cherry.
Yeah.
Yeah, this person had a full-on cherry tree going, and my mom and I saw it in our neighborhood. Like, wow, this person has cherries. Holy cow! Who knew?
I didn't think that would produce.
If I had to guess, it's because of heavy downfall rain we had late in the season that really helped the cold to make it happen. So it might be a biennial plant, probably, if I had to guess, maybe.
Okay. That's a trip.
Yeah, because I wanted to grow some cherries, and my mom said, you can't grow cherries out here. We're not in the right climate. And like, oh, I had to research it. She's right.
Yeah, I think another one that I thought, I could be wrong, but I thought blueberries too. I thought that was one you couldn't do here, but I could be wrong about that.
Actually, yeah, I got successful blueberries.
You have?
Actually, new flowers, I have blueberries begin to be, and it kind of slowed down growing, but my new blueberry cutting I got recently, like about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I see new growth.
Is that a harvest in the winter or is it like a summer harvest, the blueberries?
So this is what I'm confused about. When I first got it, I was able to harvest in late spring.
Yeah.
And my new one I just got, I was able to harvest it now, like within the past week.
Oh, what a trip. I would never think you could harvest blueberries in July.
Well, the month of July is National Blueberry Month.
Oh, I didn't know that. I had no idea.
Or something like that. I don't remember. I don't know if that's a day or a month. I don't remember. Something weird. Raspberries, I have some growing right now in the front, and it's growing.
I knew they do good. I'm, if you go up to that, what is it? There's a place you can pick apples, and they can also, pre-apple season, they let you pick
Oakland.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been there. One of my favorite spots to go get some good apple cider donuts.
And their cider is so good, like I have to wonder, are they adding sugar to that? Like, why is it so darn good?
I was looking at the ingredient list before when I was there, like maybe how many years ago was I there last? This is 2020. Gosh, honestly, it's been like 7 years I've been there last, I think. 6 years.
Yeah.
I was looking at the ingredient list. No sugar added.
Huh.
It's all natural.
So they do that naturally somehow. That's cool.
So they get apple juice and mix it up with raspberry juice or cherry juice, raspberry juice. It's pretty phenomenal. I know exactly what place you talk about. It's called Snowline Orchard.
Yes, that's one. Like, right, you take a little tiny road.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that place is awesome. I really do miss their apple cider donuts. If you guys ever go out there, I do.
That's right. They make them right there, right?
Yep.
That's gnarly.
When it's cold out, eating that.
Yeah. That's like a fall thing, right?
They actually open all year round. But you might want to check just in case. But for apple season is usually in September and October.
Yeah.
And maybe November.
Right.
The raspberry picking season usually begins between now and end of August.
Right. Yeah. Right. That's cool. Yeah.
I miss going there. That's a really good place.
My son lives up there.
It's a pretty cool place. When I was a kid, my friends from down the street, I always went with their family all the time, like every other week in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I first tried Fuji apples.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
those are good.
I was I pretty much I'm literally eating apples like every day.
Yeah.
But now I'm like more hooked with Jazz apples and Honeycrisp.
I tried those. Of course, in that place you're talking about, as well as other places up there, they have all the little samples, which I'm sure these
Hmm
days it's not the case anymore with the whole, you know.
But I can't remember what Greg said. I think they have over like Greg said there's over 500 different varieties of apples.
Wow.
300 of the 500 are still exploring if they could sell it in the market or not,
Wow.
which is pretty fascinating if you ask me.
I wonder why apples are such a diverse crop. I mean, for sure they keep a long time. Like I know in our grocery stores we'll have apples nearly year round, don't we?
I think for red apples and green apples we do,
Yeah.
which is and maybe Honeycrisp maybe or fruit. Well, it depends. I guess the season, but mostly the common is reds and greens.
Right. I figure, and
And
I figure some of them are local, anyways. But like right now, you talk about produce. If I go to the store, it's difficult. Well, I guess this time of year I'll go for peaches and plums. They,
yes,
they seem to be in season right now.
and nectarines
Right.
and apricots.
Yeah, that stuff's in season. But then pretty soon that's going to go away. Like, is watermelon even still in, or is it out already?
No, it's still in.
That's still in.
I think it's a late season this year. I think by looking at my crop, my opinion.
Okay. What about
But
corn? Is local corn still going, or do you think that's done? Strawberries are for sure done, right? Like they don't.
I saw some when I went to the post office. I saw some tobacco berry booths, which
Those,
is strawberry
right.
booths.
I've seen those. Yeah.
I think those strawberries might be done for by another week or two.
Right. So they're near the end of the thing.
Yeah. So if you
Yeah.
want strawberries, you better get them now and freeze
Right.
them.
Right.
But
They're kind of expensive. I think I was pretty shocked when I went there to buy some of those. I was like, "What?" It was like $40 for not a lot of strawberries.
wow, I had no idea.
But that was a couple of years ago. Maybe it was a bad season.
I don't know. You asked me about the fruits are in season. Cantaloupe, honeydew.
Oh, right.
Uh,
Summer melons. Right.
yeah, the summer melons are in season. Um, it's gonna be more in season by next month.
Right. Probably sweeter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um, I think- definitely peaches, but I think peaches may be close to finishing. Maybe depends what kind of get.
I feel like they are because they're getting kind of sour or overripe, and some of them are on sale. They're not so great.
True. That's my mom been saying when I bought a fruit box, have it delivered. She's like, this doesn't taste so good.
Not as good, huh?
I think she got spoiled because we have a couple of nectarines and a couple of peaches on the tree.
Right.
And it's like, this is so good. And like, then we got the box of fruit, came in like, this is okay.
Right. I should wow you. But that's convenient. That's nice. You guys get like some kind of a fruit box like every month or every 2 weeks. How's that work?
You could do a weekly deliveries or bi-weekly or once a month. But I've been doing it once a month because you never know. And somebody just came in. Who's that? Trilo?
Yeah, shallow.
Awesome. Nice logo.
Yep.
Thanks, man. Sorry, I'm trying to get the camera set up. I have to close out
No
of
problem.
I
Very
have to
good.
close out of one program every time I plug it in so that I can use it on Zoom.
Oh.
Makes sense. I know the feeling.
Raul, why don't you and I have fancy cameras for
Or for a logo.
for this part, right?
I don't think it's necessary, in my opinion.
No. You
And
go
that's
for
who
the
we
cam,
want.
you're going for the cam look.
Yeah. Maybe think for a second. Yeah.
I was always curious about when I do these Zooms with photographers, because I also do them with skateboarders, and I was always curious to watch photographers, because some of them you'll see them kind of mess with their, they're basically making a shot, right?
I'm so surprised any of the camera manufacturers, I'm sure they're going to hear this probably, or certain keywords, that their digital SLRs or mirrorless cameras has not picked up the game to make it happen for webcams, to make it happen, because I don't know.
The Wi-Fi thing years, how would it be easier?
I mean, I'm sure there's probably some kind of binary contract probably with Logitech saying you can't do that. No photography company is allowed to do that probably. That's probably why.
Oh, okay.
That's I had to guess. I know Sony did with the camcorders at one point ago, but they stopped. But just saying, I'm surprised no mirrorless companies like Sony or Canon, Nikon, Fujifilm. I'm just really surprised they haven't picked up making their cameras webcam compatible.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. Why can't they do that? I mean,
right. That's curious.
It would be interesting.
Carlo, how you been?
There we go. I was out of the window. I'm tired. My dog had her puppies, and it's been an interesting few nights.
Oh, you're not sleeping.
Pretty much. Last night I didn't get down until 3 a.m.
Whoa.
Wow. Well, congratulations, Al.
Yeah, we've got 6. We've got 6 right now. She had a total of 8. We lost 2, but all in all, they're the ones that are here are doing healthy and very loud all night long.
Wonderful. That sounds like, well, no sleep. It sounds like fun on some level.
Yeah. Could be worse. I mean, there's worse ways to be kept up. And I would rather, a litter of cute puppies than a screaming baby. I'm sure I'll get in trouble for saying that, but at this point in my life, I would rather that. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, there you go. I was taking some pictures with some expired film. Have you ever done that, Shiloh?
I just recently because I got that film in those bags that I got at the estate sale.
Right.
Prior to that, I think technically it wasn't expired because it was well kept and it was about 3 years old, so it was still.
It's not too bad. Yeah.
It was still shoot at box speed and everything. Because when I was growing up, got my first camera, I always kept it. My dad told me the trick of keeping it in a dry place or in the fridge. So
yeah.
But until recently, and I haven't gotten any of the expired stuff back yet. So
okay, so you shot it and you sent that out.
Yeah, and I have 2. I'm running a roll through the X700 and the SRT 201 again right now, and both rolls are expired. So we'll see.
Cool. Are you doing anything to compensate for that on your exposure when you're shooting?
Yes. So on the one that I know is older, it's a box speed of 100. I'm running at 50 in the X700. The other one, I'm not sure exactly how old it is. And box speed is, I believe it was 400.
Mm-hmm.
This one I'm actually running at 250 because on the SRT I can do the 2 stops in between.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
So I'm doing that one at 250.
That's what they say to do, right? To rate it lower.
Yeah. They say typically a full stop for every 10 years.
Right.
And this one honestly looked like it was newer, so I didn't want to go to 200 on it.
Right.
But instead of running it at 350, I decided to run it at 250 because on this one I am running through the polarizer filter as well. So
okay,
I gave it 1 extra half stop.
That's pretty cool. That's good to me.
I just did a roll of 400 gold, the Kodak gold, and I shot it just yesterday. I don't even remember if I rated it lower. I probably should have, because I think it's like 40 years old. I think maybe 30 or 40.
Wow.
And so I developed it, and it was just, well, here's some of it that's I haven't thrown through the scanner yet, but it's just, there's just nothing there, right? But there is, if you really look, oh, there's something,
It's bulletproof.
right? So,
Is
but I
there a
ran,
way that you can, sorry to interrupt, but is there a way that, I'm not familiar with the scanning process when you do it yourself. Is there a way to compensate for that a little bit when you
a
scan it?
little, yeah. So what I do is I cut it into slips, and Raul has one of these things. I throw it on one of these, here's one of them actually that's, I don't know if you can see anything in that, probably not. Just reflective. Well, you maybe see something. Anyway, so there was something there, and I scanned it, and it was just, just a really flat thing. And for me, the thing with this one, because it was so clouded, is I just started hitting contrast. And what's the other thing that does fog, the defog or whatever it is on Photoshop and Lightroom? And sure enough, there was something there. And that's color film, which I process in black and white chemistry.
Right.
Rodinol.
Yeah.
And what I did is I processed it, longer. So I did a regular dilution of 50:1, and then I let it sit there in the developer for like 3 minutes. And I used really hot water. Since it's color film, I use really hot water to process it, like
Right.
over 100 degrees,
Wow.
And then I just process it normally. I don't even know how to rate it as when you're washing it, because it's a cross process, right? So I just acted like it was Tri-X basically. And I only washed it for maybe 11 minutes after the 3 minutes sitting there, and just everything I normally do, and put it up. And was disappointing because I pulled it out of the water, and it was just like, wow, there's nothing on there. Just, and then I said, wait a second, you can actually see little bars, and then I had really difficult time just cutting it up, but there's stuff there. It looks like a black and white picture. It's pretty amazing. So
Awesome.
it's what I wanted, it's all screwed up. But the one bummer is that, where the sprockets are in the photograph, where the sprocket holes are, the sprocket like goes into the image, which I think isn't it. Do you know why that is, Roll?
It's like a kink somehow.
But every one of them. So if you imagine this picture of me is the image, if the sprocket hole's right there, it's going, the blackness of the sprocket hole is going down all the way to, it's like, maybe it's like teeth in all the images. All the images have teeth that go into the actual, where it should be only image.
I had to see the actual photo to determine what would trigger that. It could be a couple of things probably.
I heard that it could be exposure, that the edge of the canister could have, because it's been in it for so long, it could have exposed. Because it seems to be on both sides of it. But if you look at the imagery, it doesn't look screwed up there. Like the whole top of the thing doesn't look screwed up. It's only like right where the sprockets are, the sprocket goes deeper. The black. It's weird.
It's so weird.
That's a weird thing.
I have to see the photo to see it.
Well, it's just us three. I'll show it to you. Let me pause the.
I'm just curious.
Let me see.